Hello everybody, it's the Historical Gamer once again, and today we're returning to our War in the Pacific series against XTRG. We are playing as the Allies, XTRG is playing as the Japanese. We are moving into our January 27th turn of 1942. The Japanese are launching an offensive in the South Pacific. Our forces at Comac have been resisting far longer than I thought they would, successfully. The Japanese have landed on Celebes Island in the Dutch East Indies, and I'm streaming this at 2:15 in the morning because it's fun. We've got a Dutch submarine firing some torpedoes at a patrol boat here off of whatever the name of that island is, doing nothing and missing. We have our night operation phase going on right now. It'll be interesting to see what happens in the Chinese theater this turn, and I also am curious if we're going to see any air action over Singapore. We had a big battle there a couple of turns ago, and we're resting our fighters now. He could come in and bomb us on the ground without much risk to himself, but he seems reluctant to do much in the way of actual bombing of Singapore itself. He lost a lot of bombers early in the campaign, and I think he's been hesitant to lose more. It'll also be interesting to see if Noumea falls on the southern tip of New Caledonia. It's been resisting heroically for 2 to 3 days now. The battle's been going on for longer than that, but it probably should have fallen 2 or 3 days ago. And it continues to hold out and inflict reasonable casualties on the enemy, despite being massively outnumbered. So it'll be, we'll see what happens. Another Dutch submarine. Ooh, we got a torpedo hit on a patrol boat here off of Moluccas. Damage to engines. Escorts are hunting for the subs. They're going to depth charge and miss. 1 torpedo hit, heavy damage. This patrol boat, the Kura Maru, will probably sink. Yep, we got the little bubble thing. Someone's retreating somewhere. I don't know. I don't know if there's like a ship, a warship, or like something said it was retreating. I didn't really see what. Meanwhile, Japanese troops still haven't arrived at Bataan. A little bit of air action over Bataan itself. We've got some Japanese torpedo bombers moving against some submarines here in the Solomon Islands area. And, yeah, I'm just kind of waiting to see what's going to happen. It's been a pretty quiet turn so far. We'll go ahead and fast forward through this. We got a fighter sweep over Ichang, or Ichang, is that how you pronounce it? We have some Oscar 1Cs sweeping at 25,000 feet. It'll be that's interesting that he's sweeping fighters up there. I don't have any fighters based out of Ichang. I wonder if he's planning on going after Ichang. We already won the Battle of Ichang previously, and he might. I guess he could bring more forces to bear and try and retake the city. Meanwhile, he's got some Nels that are bombing here at Bataan. Are they bombing ships? Looks like they're bombing ships. They're going after some mine layers, minesweepers. 1 Nel damage, no damage done. Those are small aircraft. A massive sweep over Singapore. 67 Japanese fighters sweeping at 25,000 feet, 38 and 29, 2 separate groups. These are the guys that lost 20 fighters a couple of days ago trying to sweep, but we've got no aircraft in the air, so you can have fun flying over Singapore and doing nothing. Meanwhile, it does look like he's finally going to launch a bombing raid on Singapore with a grand total of 7 Lily bombers. So 40 more fighters. That brings the total to over 110 fighters over Singapore, but only 7 strategic bombers there hitting us there, so not a lot of damage there. Meanwhile, an air battle occurring over Changsha. We've got some 20 or so flying Tigers, and he's got 8 Oscar 1Cs that are sweeping in here, trying to clear the skies over the city of Changsha, which is where a major battle is shaping up in central China. And you can see here a fighter sweep going on. Not a great result. We immediately got off to a bad start there, losing a fighter to the enemy's Oscars. They're diving and on our fighters, which means that we're fighting at a disadvantage. They also have more maneuverability than us, which also means a disadvantage. We're going to go ahead and fast forward through here and see what happens. 2 H-81A3s destroyed. That's the Flying Tigers. No Japanese loss. 25 versus 8, and they still destroyed 2 planes without loss. So that's great. We'll see if anything else happens. This has been a really quiet turn so far. But we'll see how things play out here. Float planes over. Whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa. 20 fighters for us. He's bombing with 21 Idas, 39 Sallys, and 28 Sonias. He's got 28 escorts, Nates. And we've got about 20 fighters of ourselves. So the good thing is the Nate is not a great fighter, but the bad thing is he's got so many aircraft in the air here. He's got over 88 aircraft in the air here in bombing formation that they're probably going to break through even if we do have a relatively good result. So this has to be like a max effort for him in China. This has to be most of his bombing force in China. And you can see here Nates and P-40s, which are the H-81s, going at it here. Getting a couple good shoot downs of enemy Nate fighters, but another shoot down there, which is okay. I mean, you know, the Nate kind of sucks, so that helps. But I really wish I'd rather be shooting down enemy bombers than Nates. Anyway, I guess I'll take kills of Japanese pilots or kills of Japanese pilots, so I guess I'll take whatever I can get. Let's go ahead and fast forward through here and see what happens. Those Nate numbers went down a lot. The Sallies, the Sorias, and the Idas did not. Only one Nate ended up escorting the bombers to the target. And we'll bomb... Oh, we intercepted them on the way out. Okay, that's nice. So it looks like 17 more P-40s engage. Only 6 Nates are escorting, and you've got a similar number of bombers coming back. Looks like the Ida numbers are quite a bit less. I'm not sure why, but we'll go ahead and fast forward through that. And what's the result here? So we are claiming no fighters lost on our end. We shot down 1 Sonya bomber, 1 Ida bomber, 7 Nates destroyed, and 4 Sallies damaged. So that's actually a pretty good result, although he did still suppress our forces somewhat effectively, 56 casualties to the Allies. Maybe this will make him think twice, however, about launching a large-scale bombing raid for a couple of days. Big fighter sweep and bombing raid over Bataan. Looks like he's finally trying to get to our troops there. We don't have any real way of opposing him there. Japanese lose a couple of aircraft damaged. We lose no aircraft. Runways and airfields are hit a little bit, but no actual troops hit. 46 Sallies hitting Wencao. 2 damage, we lose 36 troops. Another raid over Changsha, more P-40 escorts flying up to intercept 21 Sallies versus 27 Nates. Let's go ahead and fast forward through this. Hopefully we get a similarly good positive result. We'll see. No losses on any side. He gets 37 casualties. Great. He's bombing at 12,000 feet. That's interesting. He's also continuing to hit Wencao pretty heavily. This raid on Changsha came in without escorts, intercepting them. 9 bombers coming in near Bataan. Our P-30-26 did nothing. Sonya's coming in. We bombed some Japanese troops here near Wuchao, doing no damage. And looks like we're launching a bombing raid with our Hudson here near Kandari, where the Japanese landed a division last turn. So we'll go ahead and fast forward through that. A lot of Claudes, a lot of fighters. Somehow 3 Hudsons made it through and did nothing. Actually, I think we're bombing the troops that he landed there. 3 Hudsons coming in from Ambion as well. He's got some float plane fighters there. We lost 2 Hudsons destroyed. Did no damage. I'm really curious what the combat results say, because while the actual combat reports give you a good sense of what happens, it's not always super accurate. He's doing some sweeping over in Anyang. Okay, whatever. And it looks like that's going to be the turn. I'm assuming we still have some land combat to come as well. Oh, wait, no, there's more bombing going over Bataan. 9 Nels, but they're bombing ships. So if you want to drop bombs on minesweepers, that's fine. Didn't even sink it. Nice try, Japanese naval bombers. 30 hands. He's really going max effort in air in China. A lot of air raids in China this turn. Okay. Alright. So let's move to the land combat phase. That was the PM air phase. Bombardment attack in Changsha with that large force of his. We lost 111 casualties. This was a pretty bad turn for us. 111 casualties, 4 squads destroyed. Meanwhile, another Japanese attack at Noumea. We'll see if our troops hold. He assaulted with... Okay, so he got 1-to-1 odds. He reduced the fortification to level 0 again, but he failed to take the base again. So he destroyed 21 more squads. That can't be helped. That's just going to keep building until we eventually lose everything. But he lost 3 more vehicles, 2 destroyed, and he lost 2 more squads destroyed and 30 disabled. Another 330 Japanese casualties versus 342 at Noumea. Another day where the forces at Noumea hold out. And another day where the Japanese are delayed from their eventual victory in New Caledonia. So those troops in Noumea, true heroes of the day. Bombardment attack at Wenkao, doesn't do anything. Japanese bombardment attack at Puching, doesn't do anything. And that's the turn. So we'll jump back in here in a minute, and we'll see what the actual situation looks like for our forces. Alright, so jumping in here, I think the first place we're going to go and we're going to look is China. That's where the majority of this stuff happened this last turn. You can see we've got 4,100 assault value here. We've got a couple of units that look like they're weakened a bit. Some fragments of cores, etc. We've got 4,100 garrison forces there. All the troops are still in good supply, although we don't have enough supply to kind of resupply. So if there is like actual heavy land combat that's what's happening, we're going to rapidly run out of supply. 73,000 infantry troops there. Quite a few. We're moving some of these other guys to Changsha. They should arrive tomorrow, so they should get there in the next day. He's got 24 units next to Changsha. This thing's going to be like the frickin' Stalingrad of China, and I'm not going to have any way to keep those guys in supply, so that's going to be a problem. He's got 2 units there, but we've got a good defensive position here behind a river with 585 assault value and 3 forts. So if he crosses, he's going to have to shock attack. He could cross to the west. We've only got 1 unit there and 214 with no entrenchments. But I mean, I don't know. I guess we'll switch these guys into combat mode. I guess it is what it is. Meanwhile, the fighters are not based out of Yicheng. They're based out of Changtha. Evasion support there is 30. We need 40 to support all the forces that we have there. Where? And so most of those bombers are... Okay. So the forces at Changtha, or however you pronounce it, we still have 19 ready fighters. The fatigue levels are pretty high. We probably need to stand them down this turn to give them a turn to rest. Morale is pretty high. We also have a fair number of aircraft that are out of commission due to damage. It's at 10 and 11 in terms of being repaired. If we actually look at the planes here, we can see we're going to get at least 4 back in this unit in the next turn. The other unit's going to get another 4 back as well. So we should have 8 more aircraft next turn, which will put us in better position to intercept them. Assuming he doesn't bomb Changtha and he doesn't know where we are. I think we probably have at least 1 turn before that happens. So we'll keep kind of those troops in their current situation where they're at. All right. Meanwhile, let's take a look at the actual results here. So according to our intelligence, 8 Allied aircraft shot down in air-to-air combat, 13 Japanese, 4 Japanese destroyed by flak, 7 to ops losses versus 6 to the Allies. If we go ahead and take a look here, we can see 10 Nates were shot down in air-to-air combat, 24 Japanese aircraft lost against 14 Allied. We lost 7 H-81A3s. They lost 10 fighters, 10 Nates. They also lost 2 Lilies, 2 Idas, 2 Bettys, and a couple of other aircraft. We lost 5 Hudsons in those raids in the Dutch East Indies, and that's the result. If we take a look at the top pilots, we did lose our top pilot in the entire war. 6 kills for Mr. Dupuy. He is wounded in action, so he is wounded for a period of time. If we go to the pilots here, does it show me the wounded? Or is he not included here? He's not included here. So I don't know how long he's going to be wounded. If we go back, does it tell us in the top pilots when he's wounded, like when he'll be back? It just says wounded in action. So he's not dead. He can get better, but I don't know when. I don't know when he's going to get better. But none of those guys are killed, so that's good. Looks like we might have another ace as well this turn, so good result there. Ship sunk last turn. I don't think anything. Oh, what? Wait, whoa. Did we sink Fuso in a collision? Or is that just bad intelligence? Because that would fucking be awesome if he lost the battleship Fuso in a collision. But I don't know if I believe that. That seems too good to be true. I need to know the answer to this. Did we sink Fuso? That can't have happened. That can't have happened. Is there any intelligence that we have on this? Like, how do we know that? Trying to look through intelligence here. Heavy volumes of radio traffic at a few different places. Yeah, I don't see anything in here that says that. I just don't... I'm skeptical that it actually happened, but my question is, how would we even know? Like, we didn't even know where the Fuso was, so why would we get that report? Captain Bartling had a good day there. Got 2 kills. P-38 Lightning from First Pursuit Group is damaged on landing. What P-38 Lightnings do we have? I think we've got a handful maybe training off the West Coast. Several task forces don't have enough fuel. I don't see anything about the bomber or the ship sinking. I don't see anything under admitted. I don't think that's true. I don't think it sank. That just doesn't seem... Like, loss of blah 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 is admitted. I don't see anything that says that. Yeah. Okay, so I want to believe it, but I also know that's probably not likely. Okay, so situation. These guys are... Okay, so... Do we get these guys all here yet? Where are these guys? These guys are still over here. Transporting themselves. They'll be in Pegu in a day, so we'll have the full division there. Okay. China, like, I don't think there's anything else I can do in Changsha right now. As much as I would love to just, like, drive the Japanese out, I don't think there's anything I can do with that. Main focus is getting these troops, these 1,100 assault value, out of Changsha. Or out toward Changsha, and maybe they can fall back west behind the river to help fortify those troops. Troops in the north are kind of moving into position. That's fine. I don't plan on changing anything there. Looks like there's one enemy unit moving maybe moving north toward Molman. I'm not really sure what this guy is over here. I don't know if he's moving more troops toward Burma or not. He's got a ways to go, though, via land. I would think if he was really moving toward Burma, he would have railed over here. But he's a ways away. He could be moving to reinforce what I think is probably a Thai division here. But I don't know if that's true or not. We'll see. Singapore defenses, 1,000 defenders in terms of assault value here. Again, I don't really think I'm going to change anything there. How are the fighters doing? What's the fighter makeup here? 90 aircraft, 59 are ready. That's 13 P-39 Airacobras are ready. 12 are being worked on. We will get the majority of them next turn, so we'll leave these guys on the ground one more turn. And then maybe we can surprise the Zeros with a plane that is good at low altitude, where they're never going to fight, and bad at high altitude. Great. Is that really? We have no aircraft in the pool? Huh. Meanwhile, the Hurricane tropes getting worked on or getting repaired or whatever. These guys are probably our best fighter right now at Singapore. 2 more working on repairs will be done in 2 days. 8 here, 2 more coming. These Flying Tigers. So the majority of our planes are repaired, or a large number of them are. Okay, not this unit. What about the other Buffalo squadron? These guys could upgrade to Hurricane Tropes. I wonder if they could upgrade now. Change do not upgrade. Can they upgrade now? Replace current delay is 6 days. Seriously? Jeez, we're not going to do that. Okay, so that's the situation in Singapore. Honestly, I don't think there's a lot to do this turn. I can't do anything against troops in Kandahar. I guess I can stand my bombers down. Let's see here. These Hudsons, these lucky Hudsons who survived, stand down. These Hudsons over here from Ambion, go ahead and stand down. There's a couple of you that made it out. But that's probably about all I can do there. Can't counterattack Kandahar. It already fell. He's got a full division there. Manadau's kind of hanging out, just kind of chilling there. We've got a decent garrison there to at least hold the base. He'll probably jump some of these troops out of Kendari and move them toward another base before too long. These guys are already withdrawing. This kind of feels like one of those turns where it's like, you're not really going to be doing much of anything. All right, these guys are going to Perth, Tijlap, Oosthaven. We're sending many ships to Oosthaven. Yeah, Oosthaven. Oh, Palembang's down to 19,000 fuel. Very good, sir. Very good. I don't know what drained all that fuel, but 19,000 fuel. Very nice. Oosthaven is at 36. Surabaya, those are mine layers. Looks like he's already got some fighters at Kendari, but I'm assuming they're float planes, I think. Maybe not. Air combat, these guys, I think they already docked and replenished from port. No more fuel to draw from Batavia. So we stripped all of the fuel out of Batavia. Might be a little bit left in Surabaya. But Java's really pretty dry from a fuel perspective. Surface combat, these guys are pretty full. I'd send them to Oosthaven to pull what's there if there was any point in it. For now, it doesn't look like it. Alright, these guys, how much, what's 150,000? How about you load supplies and send it to Rangoon? Because we need to get as much supply into the Dutch East Indies as possible. So you're going to do that. You guys are going to load supplies as well. We've got 150, so if we send another 60 or 70, it won't make much of a difference. Send them to Rangoon also. And you guys will disband. Alright. Meanwhile, what's our fuel situation here? Only 900 fuel. We got a bunch on the way. We've got almost 80,000 fuel on the way. How's the repair going on here? 99 days, so we're under 100 days left for the repulse. Okay. 99 days in the dockyard. 99 days till the repairs are done. Okay, so Abaddon still has a lot of fuel. 460,000 fuel. That's pretty nice. This guy's got quite a bit of fuel in Karachi and India. Air combat. Alright, so let's... The Indomitable is in Colombo. We're going to send the Indomitable to Australia, but we're going to send it to the west coast of Australia, to Perth. We're also going to transfer some new ships here, some destroyers. And we're going to set routing way out in the middle of nowhere. We'll go to Diego Garcia. We'll go to, I don't know, some spot in the middle of the ocean. Why did it not choose Perth? Oh, I said the home port was Perth. All right, so return to Perth. Now we need to set the waypoints. I always get that mixed up. I always accidentally click on the waypoints early before the actual mission objective is set. All right, so you're going to do that. Should keep them well west of any potential Japanese submarines or threats or whatever. All right, so that should take care of that. Anti-sub ops, that's fine. They'll stay there. So yeah, honestly, guys, this is kind of a boring turn perhaps, but I don't think there's a lot I can do. I can't really do anything with the force at Noumea. They're still hanging in there. They've got very little supply. They're in good defensive terrain. They've got 3 or 4 assault value. I mean, they're just waiting to die. But they're there. We've got transports coming in with some troops on them somewhere. Here, these guys going to Norfolk Island. That'll be the frontline base as soon as Noumea falls. So the intent will be to fortify Norfolk a little bit and Lord Howe a little bit. No real indication of other aircraft at the moment. We have 124 aircraft on Fiji. 36 fighters between the F-4Fs and the F-2A Buffaloes. Another 16 Warhawks. It's actually not a terrible complement there. 52 fighters, all of them are ready. We don't have enough pilots, though, by the looks of it. So we need to request a few pilots there. Probably should get a few extra pilots here, just so you've got a little bit of backup. And then we're way short here. I don't know if the new pilots we called in are all, looks like they're all shitty. But we've got a decent core of pilots there. We have 15 F4Fs in stockpile. Actually, would it make sense? Why can't we upgrade now? We don't have enough aircraft. We need 18. We might upgrade these guys to Wildcats. If we could get 36 Wildcats and 16 P-40s, that would be a pretty formidable base at Fiji. Bombing Savi this turn I don't think is a good idea. Just because it'll give away our strength in the region to the Japanese. It'll give them intelligence that I'm sure they would love to have. So I don't think it's a great idea yet. I do think it's something we should consider long-term, but probably not quite yet. Meanwhile, we're up piloting this group here. These guys have a pretty experienced crew, all 50 plus, until we called in some of those recruits. Yeah, there's no pilots in the pool, or no planes in the pool. Our pools are pretty much all empty. Yeah, I have no idea why it's saying, like, oh, you sank the Fuso, or the Fuso sank. I hope it did. I don't think it did. Melbourne, Australia, okay. These tankers have unloaded. These guys are headed to Oz. 91,000 fuel at Melbourne. Sydney, meanwhile, is 216. So we've got a good deal of fuel in Australia. That's good. Let's take a look at the situation in Auckland with our cruisers that are repairing. So it looks like the New Orleans is still 4 days away from being completely repaired. That's fine in terms of the ships that are actually ready for combat. we have 2 heavy cruisers, 2 light cruisers, no destroyers, interestingly enough. None of these ships are due for an immediate overhaul, so that's good. Some of these guys need some fuel. So I think we'll form a surface task force with these guys so we can go ahead and give them some fuel. Why can't they be... Oh, they can't be fully rearmed. So these guys have no ammo because Auckland's port is too small. But we did at least pull the fuel out of the port. Are we expanding the port? Fortifications, not the port. So we should expand that port to a level 6. All right, so we're doing that. We've got other ships on the way in. I don't have a lot else to do this turn, guys. This is a low-key turn. Got a lot of transports moving around. Got a lot of troops moving around. Not a lot of new stuff arrived this turn. We've got some stuff arriving next turn. Let's see here. Ship availability. We've got some stuff coming in a bit of time. I think we actually get some interesting stuff tomorrow. Tanker. No, okay, so we don't get the Idaho for 3 days. Iron Duke, we don't actually control the aircraft that are being built. So I'm not sure what's being built in Australia right now. I can tell you that this, unlike the Japanese crew where you can kind of control all the aircraft that you're building, we don't have that ability to do that. We can see by rate production that the Dauntless is our most produced currently active aircraft at 21. The Whirlaway is being produced, I think, in Australia, and that's being produced at 10. Wait, is that really the rate? That seems off. I swear we had some like P40s and shit that we were producing at a way higher rate. Oh, this production versus replacement? I don't understand the difference between replacement rate and production rate. Whatever. So a bunch of stuff that's being R&D'd. P40 Warhawks making 35. F2A3 Buffalo 28. Airacobra 25. MiG-3, great, we can't do that. The Tropical Hurricane is 16. B-17E is 15. We are actually using it. That's good to see. So we're actually starting to ramp up B-17 production. Hudsons might be produced in Australia. There's making 10 of those. Only 8 F4, F3 Wildcats? Interesting. Anyway, so that's the aircraft pool. Ground units. Those are air units. Ground withdrawal schedule, I think. Don't look like it lets me withdraw them. All these guys are headquarters units, or most of them are. In any event. These guys are training at 70, right? We've got all these extra pilots too. So probably want to put some of them into the pool, but we'll probably do that next turn. We've got some management stuff to take care of, but nothing super crazy. So yeah, I don't think I have a lot else to do this turn. XTRG didn't do a lot, so I think it'll be more reacting to whatever he does in the near future. With that said, I appreciate you guys tuning in for this abbreviated episode. I'm going to go ahead and sign off. Probably head to bed too, but I also don't really have a ton to do this turn, so we'll see what happens next turn. Until next turn, however, this is the Historical Gamer saying once again, thank you for watching, and until next time, I'm out.